Hey, Ryan here, Triathlon.com, and we're talking tips on the bike aid station. Should you roll through or stop? So let's kick off the video and get going. So I'm going to bust through these tips really quick. Pardon the interruptions if you hear dogs in the background kind of running around stuff, but we'll try to get through as uninterrupted as possible. If you have any questions, put them in the comments while I'm doing this live here on Facebook. And if I don't see any questions, we'll roll through it. So these are my tips that I posted in the past. You can see the date back in January, but I like to go into depth and talk about it on video so you can get a little bit more information and maybe some things that didn't come across in text comes across in video. So we're going to jump right into it. So the aid stations on bike courses, specifically we're talking about 70.3 and Ironman distance triathlons. You're rolling through, and should you stop at an aid station? Should you roll through the aid station? What should you do? Usually anything smaller than that, Olympic sprint distance, you're not going to have necessarily the bike aid station. Some races do, but most of them don't at that shorter distance. But 70.3 Ironman day races, they're going to have bike aid stations. They're going to have them fully stocked, and you're going to have an opportunity to get some stuff on there or go to the back. So we're going to jump in. First point, if nature calls, stop. I would say 99% of the aid stations in the 7.3 or full Ironman distance have porta potties in them. Usually they're at the end, and usually they'll have a bike rack or someone like a volunteer to hold your bike. So definitely make sure you ride to the end, avoid other people, keep your head up on the swivel. When you've passed everybody, check, make sure you're not cutting anybody off, kind of go over to the side and then stop, put your bike on a rack, hand it to a volunteer or whatever holding your bike, or gently lay it on the ground, use a porta potty, get back on, and take off. Simple as that. Definitely hard to hit porta potty while you're riding on a bike and going at speed. Definitely would not try recommending that. Could cause a problem. Number two, do you just need food? So there's a couple different ways you can handle that. If you need food, definitely, if you got pockets on your tri bike or you've got like a bag on your tri bike or something like that, make sure all the trash is empty. When you first hit an aid station, there should be trash cans to get rid of your trash. So get rid of that there. Remember, don't litter outside the aid station. So when you get through, you have your pockets, you have your bags open. So when you come through, they're going to hold out stuff, arm's length. We're going to hold it. And if you're okay with one on the handle, one arm on the handlebar, you got one grabbing food, grab it and then stuff it in the bag, or just hold on to it until you get to a point where you can put it in a pocket or something like that. Or if you're good, just start grabbing, put it in pockets and grab. They're going to have gels. They might have some bananas, maybe some Cliff, like sports bar type, whatever Ironman serving on the race courses these days, whatever bar they're partnered with. So bars or anything like that. Definitely a good opportunity to stock up. Like I said, go really slow, check to make sure you're not cutting people off, and when you go through that bike aid station, you want to definitely roll through tentatively and cautiously, and when you're grabbing stuff from volunteers, look them in the eye, make eye contact, and then grab that. You could definitely stop at an aid station, maybe stop between the food table and the drink table, so that way you can just go get both if you need to, or you could go to the end where the porta potties and racks are, park your bike and then go back and get stuff as you want it. Just make sure that you're safe. So if you're really not comfortable with rolling through and getting food and grabbing stuff with one hand, there's nothing that says you can't stop. Just make sure that you pull in out of the way. Don't just stop in the middle of the road. Pull in kind of near the volunteers and then stop your bike and get your stuff that way. Or you can roll through, grab it, and stick it on your bike as you're rolling through. Kind of the same idea with drinks. Grab them. The bottles are big enough for a standard bottle cage, so if you put them in your bottle cage, that's great. Empty bottles go out the beginning of the aid station. Toss those so you have an empty cage or something like that. Grab them. Gatorade, water fits right in that cage. Put it in there. I always have an empty cage on my bike frame so that way I can stock up as I go through aid stations. So, again, if you don't feel comfortable doing that, you can definitely slow down, come to a stop, grab it from a volunteer, put it on your bike, check, make sure you're not cutting anybody off on the bike, and start going again. If you have a bike hydration system, that becomes a little bit more difficult. If you've got something on the handlebars or something on the frame and you actually have to fill it up, if you're good, you could grab the first water bottle and kind of slow pedal it through and fill that up really quick and then throw the bottle by the end of the aid station. I used to have an on-frame system, got fairly decent at being able to fill it up and then chuck the bottle at the end of the aid station. Since then, I've gone to 4 bottle cages. I've got 2 in the frame, 2 in the back. I just grab the whole bottle and put it on there. It's sport top, so really all you got to do is just flip it open and drink. It's not that big of a deal. But if you got a hydration system, if you're really uncomfortable going one-handed and trying to do stuff, being multitasking on the bike, definitely grab a water bottle, get to the end of the aid station, fill it up, go to the bathroom, do whatever you need, pack your stuff, get ready to go, and go. So hydration systems make it a little bit more complicated because you can grab it, you fill it up, but you got to make sure you're not swerving over the road and running into people's way and stuff. Because on the left, people that are not stopping, not getting stuff, they're just whizzing by like normal. So you got to be careful. Slower traffic to the right, fast traffic on the left. If you're stopping for aid station stuff, don't weave in and out of people. Just pick a spot and then be riding through. So keep a head on a swivel as always. Need some first aid, band-aid, sunscreen, stop for sure. They won't hand that stuff off. So usually at the aid stations they've got something. You know, if you got blisters or you need a band-aid or you need medical attention, you need first aid of some sort. They usually have that, or like a radio to get that there. You're gonna have to stop. They don't have stuff you can grab when you're rolling through. To just keep that in mind for first aid. If you need a bike tech, odds are right when you need it is not when they're going to be there at an aid station. But an aid station is probably the most convenient place to stop if you have a mechanical issue to get a mechanic to you, because they have radios at the aid stations. They can radio for a bike tech and they know exactly where you're at. So consider that when you're rolling through. If you got a problem with shifting or something and you need to get it taken care of, don't just roll through and hope you run into a bike tech running around the course somewhere and flag them down. Chances are you'll have a much better opportunity to get a hold of a bike tech if you're at a station you stop. So keep that in mind. If you need a ride back in, unfortunately, if it's just in your day, make that call at an aid station if you can, because like I said, it's easier for them to radio and get somebody over there to get you and get your stuff and get to the race, or get back to the finish line area or transition or wherever, drop you off all your stuff. So keep that in mind. If you're in the middle of nowhere and you're just like, I'm done, I'm gonna hang it up. And if you're just gonna sit there by your bike and wait for a SAG vehicle to drive by, it may be a while. So at least ride to an aid station. If you can pull the plug at an aid station. That way they can, especially if you need medical or something like that, they can help you out until a vehicle arrives and get you where you need to go. So keep that in mind if you're having a problem. If you need a SAG ride back into the transition area. Point number 8, at my back, around 80 miles. It just depends on how the training went, how much time I spent outdoors doing my training. My lower back just starts screaming, and I get a little bit of numbness in the upper thighs. If you're good, if you're skilled, I've learned how to stretch my bike out on the back on the downhill sometimes, or ride in different positions to get that to go away. But every once in a while, like usually at the special needs stop, I will actually stop my bike, hop off, stretch my back, and just go to the bathroom, do all the things. So I've gotten to a point now where usually I'll go 20, 40 miles before really needing to get off the bike. Hopefully I can hold, if it's a bio break, maybe go on the bike, maybe not. But get to the special needs is usually where I will actually make a pit stop, get off my bike, stretch my back, and do all the things. Usually it's 56 miles halfway through, or it's 24 miles. That's not right. 28 miles for 70.3. See, that math works. So at that point, special needs, well, I take that back. 70.3 usually does not have special needs on the bike course, so keep that in mind. But for full Ironman, usually special needs is kind of where I take a pit stop. Or 70.3, usually I don't stop in 70.3 in any of the aid stations or anything. I just stretch my back out that way. But special needs, aid station, good place. It's better just to stop there than just in the middle of the road with traffic, if there's other things going on or other cyclists or anything. So if you can make it to an aid station, use those as your markers to get off, stretch your legs, stretch your back, go to the bathroom, whatever you got to do. It's a nice kind of mental way station to stop, and that next point to get there to keep riding, keep going on the course. I've always run into this a few times. You got sweat pouring down your eyes, especially 70.3 and full Ironman Des Moines in 2022 for the full. It was hot. It was sweat. It was humid. Sweat dripping down my face and in my visor and everything. So, if you're not comfortable adjusting things while you're riding along or anything, bike aid stations are the way to go. Take your pit stop, clean up your gear, situate yourself, do whatever you need to get comfortable back on your bike, and then just head on the way. If you need to fix your kit, something happened, you forgot to do something in transition or move something, and it's just not fitting right or not comfortable, and you have to get to an aid station to stop and actually get that situated. Again, stopping at aid station is much better than just stopping in a random spot in the course and trying to fix stuff, unless it's kind of mission critical that you have to stop and fix it. So keep that in mind. Trash. If you have trash on the course, stuff in your pocket until you get to the aid station. Aid stations, that should be the first thing in your mind. Okay, as soon as I'm hitting this aid station, what am I doing? Am I getting stuff? Am I getting water? Am I getting food? Am I going to go to the bathroom? Am I going to stop? Am I going to stretch my back? What am I going to do? First thing, empty all the trash you can, because you don't want to be caught in the aid station and grab stuff, and then you're like, where do I put this stuff? Because I don't have any spots in my pockets. I don't have any spots in my bag on my bike or anything like that, because I got trash in there. So you don't want to have to be chucking trash out to try to grab a bottle. As soon as you hit that first aid station, the sign or the first trash can, start getting rid of your trash and keep it at the aid station, because you can get penalties for littering outside the aid station. So don't litter, trash the aid stations. Even if you don't think you're going to get anything, empty out your trash just in case, just to be on the safe side. So get rid of your trash at aid stations. The bottom point here, ultimately, there's no rule on having to stop at aid stations. So you can stop, you can not stop, you can roll through. Just be safe. Head on a swivel. Quicker, if you're not making a stop, go on the left. Keep watching people. If you're going to stop, go on the right. Don't weave in and out of people. Just stay in your lane, stay in line. Make eye contact with people you're grabbing bottles from or whatever, and do your thing. And get, if you're going to stop, I would highly recommend kind of towards the end where the porta potties are at, where the bike racks are at, or anything that like of that nature for athletes to stop and take advantage of. Don't just stop in the middle of the aid station, because that's an easy way to cause a pile up. It's an easy way to confuse volunteers, all that kind of fun stuff. So definitely roll through with attention, put some thought in it before you get there. 112 miles on a bike is a very long time, but if you're paying attention to hydration, sipping something every 15 minutes, nutrition, eating something decent every 45 minutes, that gets you through to aid stations pretty quick. So when you get to the aid station, you're thinking trash, you're thinking hydration. What do I need? Do I need water? Do I need Gatorade? Do I need food? Do I need a bar? Do I need a banana? Do I need gel? Do I need to go to the bathroom? Do I need to fix my kit? Do I need to fix my sunglasses? All these things. When you've got all these things going through your brain, and you're thinking about this stuff proactively as you're going through a race, those 112 miles tick by pretty quick. So just keep that in mind. Hopefully these tips kind of help you out. I didn't see any questions here while we're doing it live, but if you're watching us later on the replay on Facebook, give it a like. YouTube, give it a like, hit subscribe, hit the notification button, put comments on there if you have any questions, and I will get back to you as soon as I get the notification what the question is. So with that, we're going to wrap up this video. Until we see you next time, happy training. We'll see you at the finish line.